My message to the old and to the young children as well as to the youth of the coming generation is that education is very important, and it is education which can be instrumental in changing the lives of people and an individual and the society, because education is the vital lifeline of everybody. So the children and youth should have education, particularly the youth of South, I mean the third world, where education is still in a very primary stage. Some countries have only 50% of the people who are literate. Some have progressed a lot, but not done as much as they should have done. So the government should invest on education. The individuals, persons, even families should pay attention to it. It brings a change in their life, and it brings actual achievements to the children. So I think this is a very nice opportunity for me, being born in a little village in eastern remote region of Nepal, to be here and to learn from the university, from all the participants from all around the world. So I take this opportunity to thank the university. I'm thankful to the university and the sponsor Institute of International Education, who funded my transport from Kathmandu to Kathmandu, to and from.
My name is Meki Petric. I'm from Vienna in Austria, in Europe, not Australia. I'm a civil servant and also now international and national consultant on socioeconomic issues and development. Privately, the childhood was a difficult time because I was the fourth child. My father had died when I was a year and a half. So my mother had 4 girls, little girls, to take care of. And that really gave a special color to my experience. The other thing which was really very important for me, might sound a bit strange, is that I lived a very split childhood. I lived on the one hand in a, I would say, upper class family, partly connected with politics, university and so on. But we, my mother and I, we were poor. So we lived in this very strange misconception of where we belonged to. And I did not know where I belonged to the part where there's no food or to the part there's food in excess. And that was very difficult, and that brought me to the decision at the age of 5 that I never ever want to grow up. I want to be a child because I don't understand grown-ups. And I guess my constant question was all the time, why? I always wanted to know why things are going that way or another way, because I quite often couldn't make sense of what I saw, and I needed some questions answered in order to interpret what I saw and experienced. Nobody was bad to me. I know what hunger is, but it didn't, as a child, it doesn't bother you, because you go out in the garden and play, and you forget about it. That is not really a hard thing. I think it's much harder for grown-ups than for children. So then I went to school, and in school I was a very good student, but that was not. I lived always in part in a different world. I made up my own world. I drew little figures and cut them out and made a whole society for myself where people I could play with. Another hand also, when I went in the garden, this word I don't know, I personified things I saw in the garden, birds, squirrels, everything by my friends. I made the whole world around me my friends. I stole sugar from my mother to bring this sugar to the birds in the garden. So I felt always in a world in between. And I must say that has a very strong influence on my existence now, because I really do not feel belonging to one country. I have the feeling that I belong to the world. And slowly and later, I live now in Vienna in a society which is basically composed of very many different nationalities. Most of my friends are from all over the world. Vienna is an international city, a UN city. And so I communicate best with people who are looking for how to combine all of us and cater to all of our needs, not only one nationality or one direction. If I would have to talk about one of the most important events that I really felt as extremely important, it was the coup where Allende was killed, Chile. It must have been 74 or something, or 73, 1973. And I had heard about the liberation movement. I had heard about the peaceful development of this country. I had read the poems of Neruda. I had got involved in this whole movement and was very much emotionally and intellectual into this area. And when I heard that he had been killed and that there was a counter putsch and all the young people put in the stadium and tortured and so on, it made me incredibly sad. And I remember I was on a boat to go to Greece, to an island, to Crete, from the mainland of Greece. And I stood there just crying, because it was everything, there was the death of hope. And I wasn't an expert on development at the time, but it had touched me very much beforehand. And that this movement could be stopped, killed, was somehow horrible. And I decided that I want to do more in development, and I want to go in a stronger understanding of peace, of fighting, of stopping fighting, of supporting whatever movements needs to be supported in order to have a better living for human beings and a more dignified